The Jets outbid the Dallas Cowboys for a talented free agent, and he picked them over Dallas. We'll talk about it. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast, people. It is March Madness Day, which I'll say right off the top. Of course, make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, spread the gospel of all things Boy Green Daily. But it is March Madness Day, and if you'd like to get in our official bracket challenge, obviously, you only have till noon to do so. To not only join the group, but submit your bracket. I have an official bracket challenge for my radio show that you guys can feel free to join. That is Manchild Madness 2025. Again, Manchild, Manchild, Madness, Madness 2025. So make sure to join our bracket challenge. If you'd like to compete against me, my fellow radio talent, and some of your Jet fans, friends, feel free to do so. Again, just download the ESPN Tournament Challenge app and feel free to join. I'll be back on the radio in just a couple hours talking more about it as well. Well, let's get right into it, everybody. For those who might have missed it, we have a full article in the YouTube description down below. Brandon Stephens, the cornerback, formerly of the Baltimore Ravens, was in negotiations with the Dallas Cowboys during the legal tampering period. The Cowboys were looking for a corner. And Brandon Stephens broke off negotiations with the Cowboys to sign with the New York Jets, which to some Jet fans out there in the audience, they have not been pleased by that signing because they have a lot of questions about it. And it's fair to have questions about certain players that we sign that you don't feel as good about or what have you. So that totally makes a lot of sense. Totally makes a lot of sense. I can totally understand why people would feel that way on Brandon Stephens, because he is a guy that is coming off a bad year. And quite frankly, a lot of these Jets free agents they added, the Jets are like the home for the broken and wounded right now for bringing them in. But what the Jets believe is that they can nurture these players back to strength. And even like Brandon Stephens' case is a bit unique because like and Andre Cisco, who came off a bad year in Jacksonville, he signed a requisite 1-year deal for $10 million. That displays the risk, for lack of a better word, like clearly the Jets are taking a chance. So that's sort of there. That's sort of there in the conversation. That's sort of there in the conversation of it's built into the contract. Brandon Stephens, when he gets a 3-year deal for $36 million, $12 million per, which is 17th most among all cornerbacks in the NFL, and there's a $20-ish million guarantee, that doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like something that you'd say, oh, wow, obviously the Jets are building that one back up to strength. They're sort of paying up. But what the belief is ultimately is that this Jets defensive staff with Steve Wilks, Dre Bly, Aaron Glenn, everybody will be able to use their coaching to get the most out of the talent. That's what they believe. Now, whether that's right, wrong, or indifferent, I guess we can have a debate about that. But that's the key of what AG believes, is that he believes his defensive staff is so good that if they bring in the right talent with the right mentality, they can take it from this level to this level. That's what the Jets believe. That's what AG sold Brandon Stephens when he signed here. That's what they sold. That was the bill of goods that was sold from that perspective, is that Brandon Stephens, like I said, was in negotiation with the Cowboys. How often do the Jets beat out the Cowboys for something? You know, it's pretty good. And maybe it was just money related, or maybe it was, hey, Aaron Glenn, we may never know. What is the truth as it pertains to that? But that's what excites me, quite frankly, about this Brandon Stephens, is that I believe in the coaching. I believe in the coaching upgrade. that is occurring here. And that's perhaps the most significant upgrade for the New York Jets this offseason. It's not Justin Fields. It's not this player. It's not Cisco, my boy. I love Cisco. It's the coaching. The coaching which was here and the coaching that hopefully could be here. Or really, quite frankly, anywhere just above this line would be terrific. That would be just dandy. And here was Brandon Stevens spoke to Jets team reporter Caroline Hendershot and sort of explained that vision that AG sold him during the legal tampering window. Let's play that footage.
What were some of the things that Aaron Glenn was saying to you in those conversations on why he wanted you to become a Jet?
Yeah, he just expressed how much he loves my game and appreciates my game, and how he can just help not only me with this team, take it to that next level, and we just had great talks and whatnot, and it worked out.
How would you describe your game to Jets fans that maybe haven't seen you before?
Yeah, physical. That's the type of brand of football that that I bring to the table, and in the type of brand that not only shows what I can do, but makes other people around me better.
And there you go. That is Brandon Stevens again speaking with Jets team reporter Caroline Hendershot. That video just dropped this morning. They have a full interview that you guys can check out. By the way, this is sort of sad because I think ultimately it hurts the fans when they make decisions like this. For those who don't know, you may say like, oh man, we haven't talked to Cisco. We haven't talked to Fields. We haven't talked to any of these guys. The Jets are choosing not to hold press conferences for their players. Their new addition. So no Justin Fields, no Cisco, no Brandon Stevens, no nothing. None of those players will be having their own press conferences. So they will have normal media availability when that hits, and if there's any media availability to be had in a month when some of the April light activities start. So no press conferences. So we won't learn more about these guys from that perspective anyway, which I'll be sort of curious, because there's a few things that I think we want to know. For instance, let's give a little bit more details on Brandon Stevens. He entered the league as a third-round pick back in the 2021 NFL Draft. During his 4 years in the pros, he's appeared in 65 games. He's made 48 starts. In those appearances, he's racked up 32 pass deflections, 2 picks, 2 sacks, 259 total tackles. And a former NFL general manager spoke anonymously with Rich Cimini and said he studied Stevens closely and said, the problem is he can't find the ball. And when you look at the advanced stats, he had no interceptions despite being targeted 98 times as the nearest defender. That was the 5th highest total in the league per next-gen stats via Rich Cimini. He allowed 63 catches for 858 yards and 4 touchdowns, which Cimini described as bloated numbers. But here's the thing why I think the Jets circle Brandon Stevens. Nearly 34% of his targets were tight window throws, less than 1 yard of separation. That's the 8th highest number, minimum 250 coverage snaps, which suggests that the coverage was good, but Brandon Stevens just didn't make the final play. In other words, he's around the ball, but he's not making the final play, which, by the way, does that sound familiar to anyone? Is there anyone on the team that fits that description? Tight windows, sort of always there, but lacking in the ball discussion of the ball making discussion. Sauce Gardner. Now, yeah, obviously Sauce Gardner has much better numbers and history and statistics and all that stuff than Brandon Stevens. But that's sort of Sauce's bag, is that he is not a guy so far that's proven to be a playmaker that could just intercept the ball and make things happen and just take away the ball. That has not happened consistently. So that's sounds like, that sort of conversation. But again, Stevens told Caroline Hendershot in that little mini video package that Aaron Glenn sold Stevens on taking him to the next level. Now, here's the fascinating thing. When Stevens was signed, we all went, boom. There's the opposite starting corner to replace DJ Reed, because you got Sauce Gardner, got Michael Carter II, and then Brandon Stevens must be replacing DJ Reed naturally. That must be the natural order of things. That must be how it's going. And we thought so. But Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic noted on social media that Stevens has the ability to play both corner and safety. And I checked his Pro Football Focus bio page, and it breaks down snaps by position. And Stevens has played in the box. He's played slot corner. He's played wide corner. He's played free safety. Now, the majority of his career has been spent at wide corner, but he has some safety in his background. And let's give a shout out to Joe Caparoso, co-host of Badlands. He noticed on March 13th, a week ago, that the Jets had FS listed by the name of Stevens on the official roster sheet, which indicates free safety. And a lot of people kind of freaked out on social media, like, whoa, 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 whoa. What does this mean? Does this mean, are they converting into free safety? Which, by the way, wouldn't really make a lot of sense. I thought Cisco would be a free safety. But anywho, the point is like, oh, are the Jets doing something funky here? And then the Jets quickly corrected it and switched it back to CB, to cornerback. So he will be officially starting opposite of Sauce Gardner and Michael Carter II. It does seem that way. Now I guess we won't know officially if the Jets decide to call a pivot or make some sort of a change. I guess they'll let us know. Like I said, there's no press conference to confirm this, where Brandon Stevens would likely be asked, "Hey, what position are you playing here with the Jets?" And he could just go, "Blee ba blue." So maybe there will be a little bit of versatility on the back end of the defense. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. So sorry, people that were hoping for safety. We might see it. I don't want to say sparingly, but like in certain packages, like, hey, we're going to put this base defense on the field. We're going to move him to here and do this with him. That could be possible. That could be possible. We got 500 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. Appreciate you. Again, it is March Madness Day, baby. These next 2 days are the best days in all of sports. All of this college hoops action going on. It's going to be terrific. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Like I said, we have Boy Green Daily right now. Then I got like an hour-ish drive to the radio station. I got 2 more hours. We'll talk some Survivor for all our Survivor fans out in the audience, and some March Madness, some bracketology. So a lot going out there. A lot will be happening. All right, let me go. I think we had something earlier. Indy Jets throwing in a YouTube member super chat here. And every time we get any super chat member shout out of any kind, we hear from my beautiful daughter, Zariah Luna.
Wow.
Indy Jets, who had quite the role on Boy Green Meets Woody on Tuesday. That was fascinating. BG, are you interested in going to Jake's draft party? Well, first off, in general, I would like to go to a lot of these events that are out there in the universe. Unfortunately, from where I live, I'm just out of range. So a couple of factors. First off, I got 2 kids, so I always have to keep that in my brain of when I'm making decisions. That's being a parent. So putting that aside, so I got kids, so I have to figure out things if I'm ever going to do something like that, number one. Number two, I am so far away. I live in upstate New York. I hope eventually sorry, I got tackled there by the internet gods. I'm sorry. Let me switch the mic back. All right, sorry for any technical difficulties, people. I'm not sure when I got cut out there, but anywho, am I interested in going to the Jake draft party? Number one, I got kids, so I always had to factor that in. Number two, I live super far away. It's 4 or 5 hours or something from all that activity that you guys have, so that's difficult to pull off. And then the third reason is, well, we got a live draft party. We'll be doing our own virtual version on that Thursday night for the entire first round. That live stream is already up in the live section if you guys would like to like the video and set a reminder for that with special guests and things of that nature. So, I would normally be interested. I love Jake and would love to support Jake in any way that I can. But no, for this particular time and just in general, until I move out to the Jersey area, which again, I hope is somewhere in my future, that won't I'll miss events like this, unfortunately, but I'm sure Jake's going to kill it. I'm excited for Jake and happy for Jake, and that's great. That's good. That's good for Jake. So that's excellent. Alan says, I'm going to Paulston Senior's dream draft party. I'll be in the Cowboys headquarters. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we went to, again, for the Jets-Cowboys game, we got to do a tour of Dallas, and that was really cool for my dad. I'm just, we've gone to a lot of Jets stuff, naturally, as me being a Jets fan, but it's cool to see my dad in his element. And obviously, I'm an NFL history nerd. So, like, Dallas, the stadium, the history, Bullet Bob Sanders. I mean, all of it, from Roger Staubach to Michael Irvin to Emmitt Smith to Herschel Walker. I mean, like, come on, man. All the legends of Dallas Cowboys lore. It's pretty cool. So it's cool for my dad to be able to see all that. Long story short, it is really cool. All right, let me answer, and there you go. Terrence says he'll be watching the draft right here, so it'll be a lot of fun. Yes, J-Boy, the Paul and Connor draft party. It'll be awesome. Again, we're gonna have a lot of special guests. We'll continue to reveal some of those guests that are going to be on the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. One of them will be Jets legend Jericho Cotchery. So it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Absolutely. Also, I will give a tip of the cap. None of you that are watching or listening will likely know who this person is, but here in Syracuse, I just want to say that we're thinking about the family of Steve in North Syracuse. Now, Steve in North Syracuse was a longtime caller to my radio show here in Syracuse, always coming with great information, and I always learn something from those calls. Unfortunately, he passed away this week. And I'm like I said, I'm thinking about Steve in North Syracuse. I'm thinking about him and his family. I had heard he was sick, but it doesn't make it any easier when someone passes. So one of the legends of the Syracuse community didn't only call my show, he called all the shows in Syracuse. So always, love sent. I always enjoyed our phone calls. So I want to pour one out for Steve in North Syracuse for anyone that may or may not know. But one of the legendary callers to all of the radio shows in Syracuse, whether it's the Man Shout Show or any of the other ones. So. Now, I'll tell you, going back to Brandon Stevens just for a second, sometimes you trust the coaching, right? So, like, the Jets make an addition, and I go, well, I trust the coach to get the most out of it. And then sometimes it doesn't work. Here's a great example. Javon Kinlaw. The Jets signed him. Now, people didn't like the contract's like a one-year deal for $7 million and change. A lot of people are like, ugh. Like, what a bad deal. But I'm like, this staff knows him incredibly well. This is going to be a good deal. Now, it worked out for Kinlaw because he came here to the Jets. It had like 4.5 sacks or something, those numbers-wise. But if you watch the games, there were some questionable moments. And he got a crazy deal from Washington, $45 million deal. So, crazy. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely bonkers. So... and I trusted coaching then, and it didn't work. It worked for Javon, but it didn't work for us. So the same sort of thing. Brandon Stevens, I'm going to trust the staff to get the most out of him. What other choice do we have? Just to root against him? Man, I think he stinks. Ravens fans thinks he stinks. So, what's going on? Like, come on, man. So, let's spread, the butter evenly. I'm going to give both an opportunity. Gave Javon Kinlaw an opportunity. That didn't work out. I will give this Jet staff an opportunity to see what happened there as well. Yeah, that's a good question. Jared B. asked it. Who won the Snowball Chef thing yesterday? I didn't see it. I was busy running around. Who won Snowball or Chef? I guess we'll find that out on the phone lines. But the Asmaniac madness happening over there on the Jake Asman channel. I'm fascinated. What happened there? All right. We'll open up the phone lines. I'm sure we'll find that out and discover that during some time here on the show. We have 600 plus people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. Again, a full article in the YouTube description down below on this very topic about the Jets beating out the Cowboys. I should have saved this topic from a pop this weekend, but the Jets beating out the Cowboys for a free agent that they wanted. They coveted. And we said, no, sir. Now, some Jet fans would have wished that the Jets did not beat out the Cowboys because they don't seem to like Brandon Stevens. But hey, now let's see what this guy's going to do. Let's not judge before it happens. Let's not judge prematurely. All right, let's do this. We'll open up the phone lines. I'd like to call in. YouTube.com/BoyGreen25 is the place to do it. Hep song, more coming up here on Boy Green Daily.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch Jets football with Boy Green. Jets, Jets, Jets.
There you go, Hep. Way to set the tone, baby. Hit the music. J-Boy says, hit the song, baby. It's one of the best in the business. Incredibly catchy. You know, when the show's not going on, I'm listening to that song. That's so gosh darn good. That's so gosh darn good. All right, let's go. Let's go to the phone lines. And we got EZ here on the move. What's up, EZ?
I hope Hep does not get in trouble for what is it when you steal somebody's song or stuff?
Copyright infringement?
Yeah, that song is The Pretenders. One way or another, I'm gonna find you.
I'm gonna get you.
Yep.
Oh man, I'll have to lay those tracks together to see. I never noticed that.
Yep. Well, you know, it's all right. It's catchy. It's a good song. I like your opening stuff better because I like heavy metal. Maybe one day I'm going to compose a heavy metal song for you.
Hey, I just want to let everybody know that the door is open. If people want to do like, hey, someone has a hip hop, someone has a hard rock, someone has an everything, feel free. I'm open to interpretation. I love the creativity of the viewers and listeners. So feel free. That'd be amazing. People out there in the audience, if you have an idea.
The best thing would be if Chrissy Hynde was an actual Jet fan. That would be cool.
Yeah, man, that would add to the pile, I'm sure. You know.
Yep. Anyway, so how is it from the bowels of southern Canada?
You know, it's yesterday I got to take the family out. It was like 60 degrees or so. It was something wild here. But apparently my neighbor told me that today it's going to be 30. So I guess we're getting it very harsh. We had a huge snowstorm at the beginning of the month where we were like snowed in on our house. And then for it to be 2 weeks later and it to be 60 is wild. So yeah, we get some intense temperature swings here in New York.
I can remember when I was a little kid growing up in Queens. I think I was 5 years old. My mother gave me like $1.50 and a note to go to the candy store and get her a pack of cigarettes. Mm-hmm. She said, "Here, go buy yourself a pack of Tasty Cakes too." So here I am trudging through the snow. We must have had like a foot and a half of snow. But you got to remember, when you're 5 years old, a foot and a half of snow, it looks like you're walking through a wall on the sidewalk where they shoveled.
Yeah.
It's not like when you're 5 foot, 6 foot tall walking through it. I mean, when you're only like 2.5 feet tall, 3 feet tall, you're walking through that shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah. Giving a 5-year-old 2 packs of Kent cigarettes. That's funny as shit.
There you go.
Life was so much simpler back then. I bet you there's a couple of other Jet fans who can relate to that. That'd be funny.
For sure.
But anyway, yeah, it's been a decent winter here and in beautiful downtown North Carolina.
You guys get any snow?
We got a little snow. We got 1 5-inch storm, and the snow was gone in 2 days. Which is significant
for down there, though. That's crazy for down there, though.
My second year down here, we had the largest snowfall in the history of Raleigh. We had 21 inches of snow. The mayor threw his hands in the air and just said, "It'll melt."
Yeah,
we weren't equipped for that.
Yeah. Which you're not down there. Luckily, us here in New York are. No. But even still, like even when that storm hit like 2 weeks ago, as equipped as we were, you can only be so equipped for the elements of hell raining down on you. So yeah.
21 inches of snow is going to shut any city down for at least a half a day to a day, right? Any city, even Buffalo, 21 inches of snow. I mean, they'll get it cleared off in a day and a half, but I mean, 21 inches of snow is 21 inches of snow.
That's true.
And down here, where there might have been maybe 15 snow plows in the entire city.
Yeah.
They don't exactly have salt spreaders and snow plows on the trucks here, you know. Yeah. But anyway. Yeah. I digress. Back to football. I have no idea what the Jets are going to do. I'm kind of liking the idea more and more as I think about it of getting this tight end, and I'll tell you why.
Okay. Which tight end?
The one everyone's been talking about.
The draft stuff you're talking about?
Yeah, the draft.
Oh, Tyler
Warren.
What's his name? Yeah,
Tyler Warren. Right.
Yes.
Last year, I mean, that kid is great receiver. Absolutely amazing. He set records and everything. But Tyler Warren's a more well-rounded tight end as far as blocking ability. I don't know if what's his name from last year? He's not on the team, so I don't really give a shit.
Brock Bowers?
But anyway, Yeah, Bauer. He's a great receiver, but I don't know if they said he was that good of a blocker,
He's a
but maybe
smaller
that
guy
wasn't what he
compared
was.
to Warren. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's much smaller. Yeah.
he's more of a gigantic wide receiver, but I think that this kid's more well-rounded, and if they just put him on the right-hand side,
That's what I would do.
to chip block, because they say in films, I've watched some films. I can't remember which film guy was doing it. I know it wasn't. I know it wasn't Jet X doing it, or what's that kid's name? The guy who talks really super fast. Anyway, I was watching another company that bunch of guys that are doing film, and they said that this guy is exceptionally apt at chipping off the edge and then finding a hole and getting open very easily. Like he's a master at doing the quick 1-2 block and then getting wide open. So that would be great for the scheme they want to run, because if they want to run 22 personnel and they want to run, like 2 receivers, 2 tight ends, and 1 back, I mean that's perfect. And the other thing is, what do you think about doing full house backfield?
And what do you
Having
mean by
all
that?
three. You have Brees, and you have Agent Zero, and you have the other kid back there, Isaiah Davis, and then you have, of course, the quarterback runs. So why am I so bad with names today? God, I'm not
sure.
Having a serious senior moment.
That's all right.
But anyway, my just brain's getting ahead of me. But you got four runners in the backfield, and then you have Tyler Warren chipping off the edge. I mean, there are so many different things that they can do if they get Tyler Warren.
That's
I just
true.
think that, and like I said, even I think we have enough blocking right now. I mean, they got that other center, so they have him. Well, so he's a center guard. They got Tippmann. Tippmann's a center guard. So right there, you have depth, good depth, not just warm bodies. We have actually some depth now. So you still keep AVT at guard. I don't think you monkey around with AVT too much.
I agree with that.
And I think this kid that we have, this other guard that we have,
John Simpson.
Yeah, no, not Simpson. The left side's done. Leave the left side. We're not even talking the left side.
Well, who's the other guard? Are you talking about the free agent they just signed?
Who's the guy we drafted last year, though?
Olu Fashion?
No, not Olu. Olu he's the tackle. I'm talking. Didn't we get another guard? I've heard his name mentioned a couple of times, that he's kind of still in the learning phase. And I think someone yesterday was talking about maybe, the other tackle we got, and then putting him and then using him as guard, because he's not really that big of a tackle, but he does have the long arms, and so we have him as a backup guard. I think all we need to do is just get a decent 50% of the league tackle at right guard, and with Tyler Warren, and then we'll be fine. I think we have some decent depth now on that O-line.
So
plus, we still have this entire draft.
Who is this guard or tackle?
I told you my names are freaking out my head right now.
Let's play guess who. Height, weight, school, something. Can you give me?
I think
something?
he was like 6'2", 6'3", around 290 to 305 pounds, and he's not the biggest guy, but he's got long arms. They said. Shit.
And we drafted him last year.
I don't know, a year and a half ago. I don't know. Look at the board, the chat. Maybe someone knows who I'm talking about. I know we were mentioning this kid yesterday or the day before. I heard him mention on the show that he was an O lineman that we mentioned on the show. I'm sorry that I didn't do my homework today.
That's okay. I am bringing up the roster, and we will crack this case before you get off the show. And you said this is a guy that was on the team last year, correct?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Just look up all the O linemen.
Yep, I have it. So, a guy that Cole Laval?
No.
Max Mitchell?
Nah, we know Max is Max.
Xavier Newman?
Not him.
Okay, Carter Warren?
That's the guy.
Oh, Thank God. Okay. All right. There we go. We found it. Okay.
They were saying that he's not the biggest, not the heaviest, but he's got good long arms, so that they could possibly move him from tackle into guard as well as maybe they could make him the backup left guard.
Wow, he'd be again. He's 6'5", 311 pounds. Maybe I didn't know that they were considering any guard movement there, but okay.
No, we would. People were talking about what we could do. Maybe you have him make him a backup left guard because he's big. I mean, he's just. See, I didn't realize he was that tall. But yeah, Carter Warren, wasn't he drafted as a tackle? I think
he has not played. As far as I know, he has not played any guard at the NFL level. It's been exclusively tackle.
Well, neither did Becton.
Well, that's
and
true.
Becton played.
I guess
Becton played really, really well. I think it was because I think he's too big for tackle because he's not quick enough to drop and do the edge. That's what I think his problem was. But as a middle guy, he's a monster. Because he's a tackle by trade. Sure. By moving him to guard, at least he's quick enough to pull. He may not be fast enough to cover those really speedy edge rushers, but he's quick enough to pull, and he did a great job with the Eagles. Then again, he was out from under the bullshit of Keith Carter. Oh my God. Yeah. What an abject disaster he was.
So, no relation, I believe, between Carter Warren and Keith Carter. I don't believe so. I don't believe there's any connection. I don't believe they're related.
Well, no. I was just saying that Keith Carter was a horrible coach. I was saying. I think everybody on our offensive line is going to improve just by coaching.
They should
just
by
default. Coaching, we're going to. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to. I took way too long to get to my point, but I think. So anyway, Carter Warren. Tyler Warren. I think would be a good pick. Now, I'm not opposed to Mason Graham, and I'm not opposed to that other kid that they've been talking about. Any one of those three. Yeah, I'm putting 4 fingers up. I told you I'm just fucked up this morning. Yeah. But any one of those 3 guys will be fine by me. Warren, Graham, or that other tackle, or the tackle, offensive tackle. Either one of those 3 guys, I'd be fine with. Just now you're isolating me on the screen, and I feel really subconscious.
All kinds of technical issues over here. Sorry, I missed your 3. Go ahead, lay them on me one more time. What do we got?
Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
Mason Graham.
Sure.
And I know that there's an offensive tackle that was rated pretty good. That right
Will
tackle.
Campbell.
That guy. Any one of those 3 guys, I'm down with.
All right.
I don't think, and since we're picking 7th, the 2 quarterbacks are going to go.
Probably.
They're going to go. They always do. Everyone just plays haymaker and bullshit artists before the draft, but the quarterbacks always go first because nobody wants to be the guy that let the guy go,
You definitely don't want to be the guy that let the guy go. There's no question about it. Wow. That was a trip. Easy. One of the best. I was very confused. I'm not going to lie. During a lot of that call, again, playing this that guy. What guy? Yeah, he's about this tall, about this much. Okay, it was the other team last year. Yeah, maybe. Well, was he or was I don't? Who? Maybe he plays a little tackle, guard, center. He's a football player, man. Oh, okay. All right. Wow. Okay. Well, anywho, not really sure how to transition there from that, but nonetheless, Johnny Boy, you're here on the show. Johnny?
Hey, do you know the guy that played for that team back in middle school?
Oh, right.
That went to high school.
Oh, transferred over.
And then went to college.
Right.
And I think he ran track and field, but also played cricket for New England.
That sort of sounds semi-familiar.
Yeah. That guy is the guy that we should probably not draft.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense now. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I, yeah.
I feel like
Every
I'm normally pretty good. If someone like gives me again, it's funny that this just came up. I had an intern on my radio show yesterday. I think he's going to try to do it again. He plays a game, and the game on the radio is he's going to give me a few details about a player, and I got to guess who the player is. Like, they were drafted in 1994. I'm like, okay. And he played for this team randomly for 3 years. He gives me very sparse details, and I'm supposed to oh, that's Dennis Rodman. He was doing some NBA stuff yesterday. So I felt like, and I did pretty good in the game. I'm like, so when Ed started going, that guy, I'm like, okay, here we go. I'm back in game mode. Yeah, here we go. Like all of a sudden, things are picking up. All of a sudden, I felt out of nowhere like the trivia music started playing, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Who's the guy? I should have been playing this as I was playing with Easy. That would have been even better. As I was trying to figure it out, and crack the code, that would have been better. But missed out. We got to get better. Got to get better.
Would you have thought on the 20th of March that you would be trying to guess that? Look, I love Easy, man. That guy makes my morning.
And then it ended up being Carter Warren the entire time. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah.
Yeah, I was easily confused the entire time, man. But
it's always an entertaining call. So salute to the one and only Easy, baby. Yeah.
But I remember now my point because you said Carter Warren. Look at that. You talk about Carter Warren and bring back everything you talked about. The Nandi signing, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What's the deal with the contract stuff? Like, I still don't
has
know
that come out yet?
What the contract is.
Let me take a quick peek. That should be out because the Jets officially announced the deal. So you would think that's out there in public space. Let me see. I think I saw. Let me see. Let me see if I could do a quick Goog search for that. Because there's I have not seen anything so far. So I did a quick Twitter search. I don't see anything of what he is. But either way, I would expect this to be. I mean, I guess I would be surprised if it's a significant contract, to be honest with you. Maybe it will be. I don't know. But I just did a quick Twitter search. There doesn't seem to be anything on his contract. And let me try one more search here. Okay, let's go.
And the reason I'm asking that, I know this is about Stevens. I honestly think that Stevens is going to be utilized really well with Aaron Glenn. I think Aaron Glenn is going to get like he said multiple times, I'm trying to make good players, great players into legends, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of the signings that we have, I know they're not the big splash signings that people want and stuff like that, but the upside on a lot of these players are very big. But Nandi, for me, I think that's, other than Fields, of course, I think that was the biggest signing that we had. I mean, he is going to do a lot of the dirty work that we're not going to really see on stats like that, right? But you're going to see it on other players as well. So that's why I'm confused in regards to, I saw that he signed his contract, but the contract information is not out there.
It is not available. I just did a double check on all the big contract websites that would have it, and he's listed at $0. So unless he's now the cheapest player in NFL history, I believe they just have simply not updated it yet. So that's where we're at.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's weird, but I wanted to get your understanding what you thought about the signing with Nandi and all that, and what do you think the role is going to be? Do you think they're going to utilize him as he was utilized over there in Kansas, where he was just a part-time player? Because a lot of his stats is because of that. He was a part-time player, he was a rotational type of individual, but the upside is there, man. He was a beast when he was at FSU, then went over there in Kansas and all that. He did a lot of the dirty work for everybody else to do. Putting him next to Quinnen, I think he's going to be able to excel. But yeah, BG, let me know your thoughts in regards to that.
I appreciate it, Johnny Boy. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Yeah, I would say this. Derek Nadi, again, we don't know the contract yet. It's not on Twitter or on any of the contract services like Spot Track or Over the Cap yet. I don't anticipate it to be a lot of moolah, but again, we'll see what happens there. So for his career, he's been a full-time starter basically with the Chiefs immediately up until last year. Last year, he only played about 20% of the defensive snaps, but throughout the other, I think, 6 of his 7 years, they were 40% of the snaps. So he was a rotational guy. I think at this point in his career, he kind of is what he is. Like, for instance, I think Milton Williams, if I have that name right, the Eagles guy that went to the Patriots. I believe it's Milton Williams. Yeah, it looks like Milton Williams. So he's another guy that was a rotational guy that went from the Eagles to the Patriots. And Mike Vrabel with the Patriots said, hey, Milton, I hope you're ready to play more snaps because you're going to play more here than you did there. So sometimes players are this and then they get to that. But that's Milton Williams, as an example, is 25, as opposed to Derek Nottie, who is, let me see, what do we have Derek Nottie at here? He's 28, so he's a little bit older. So I think he sort of is what he is at this stage of his career. But again, that still helps. That's the most significant defensive tackle addition the Jets have made so far this offseason. So that's 100% significant. That's the most significant add, like I said, that they've made. All right, let's get to a few things here. First off, J-Boy with a 5-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. Let's bleepin' go. Members of the Boy Green Coffee Club are Deborah 64, Damian De Virgilio, the legend Bobby Midnight. Okay, there you go. I love to see that. Jonathan Francois and V6RM. You guys are all now members of the Boy Green Coffee Club, and J-Boy has joined the top 5 of our highest gifters so far this month, just etching out DNY for life. He has 26 raffle tickets, J-Boy does. Jumping into our top 5, we see you, J-Boy, making some moves. We appreciate that. Thank you, J-Boy, for the support. That's, again, 5 more raffle tickets to our contest. And, again, let me throw that up on the big board again here. What you guys are competing for this month is as follows: a New York Jets patched out pullover hoodie, Super Bowl prize back, and a custom laser engraving Jets Boy Green package. You guys can be eligible for this giveaway with all of your raffle tickets throughout the entire month of March, which again is $2.99 a pop. That means super chats throughout the month. Every $2.99 you spend will be another raffle ticket, so keep that in mind. If you buy a Boy Green Coffee Club membership for yourself, that's our YouTube membership group where you can become a loyal member to the show, and it's only $2.99 a month. That's in the YouTube description down below. Again, enjoy the Boy Green Coffee Club here, only $2.99. You do that, you get all the perks of being a Boy Green Coffee Club member, plus you get a raffle ticket for this contest, so it's kind of a win-win scenario there. And as J-Boy did, you can also gift memberships on YouTube. That is the little money sign on YouTube. Click that. Final option, gift channel memberships. You guys can gift as many as you'd like. Feel free to do so. Again, the more raffle tickets, the better. We will be announcing that winner for that giveaway on April 1st, April Fool's Day. And then we'll immediately, I already know what our giveaway is for the month of April, and it's pretty cool. So we already have that locked in. So we'll immediately announce that on April 1st, to be honest with you, for what will be happening there. Excellent. Thank you, J-Boy, for the memberships. All right, a couple of things I saw these noted, so I want to make sure I got to them. For Lily and Big D said, BG, have we done enough on the D line of free agency to not have to take Mason Graham and make the pick for offense? That's an interesting way to put it, Floor Lily. I would say this. Have they done enough if Mason Graham was on the board that they could go? Again, I guess you could just do whatever you want, right? To me personally, I still think you need another significant piece. But I think this was well explained. I think this was Connor Rogers on Badlands. So here's your choices, right? So you can take Mason Graham at 7 if he's on the board. Mason Graham's really good, and you feel pretty good about that. But then who is the secondary thing you're going for? Is it a wide receiver or a right tackle or whatever, right? Basically, what Connor Rogers argued is you can take Armand Membu. That's another right tackle that maybe Easy was referencing, but only God knows who he was talking about. Whether Armand Membu, Will Campbell, or God knows. I don't know. But whoever that guy is, you could get your right tackle at 7, and in theory at 42, a defensive tackle could slide there. Tyleek Williams, we talked about it a lot from Ohio State. There could be a range. There's a lot of names that could potentially be there at 42. Long story short, the defensive tackle class is so deep that you could wait and still find an effective guy if you get to 42 at defensive tackle versus the right tackle that might be available might not be as sexy. So that's the thing you have to weigh. I love Mason Graham, so I would love that pick. And we'll see if he's on the board. Again, he might just not be on the board. That might totally be possible. But if he is, that's going to be a tough conversation. But that's the game you have to play. You're the Jets. You're like, okay, we're taking risks here. Who's going to be available at 42? And you got to play the game. Who most impacts our team at what position? And what's the drop off from this guy to this guy to this guy? There's a lot of science and all that jazz that goes into footballology. That's for damn sure. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We got BG here on the show. What's up, BG?
What's going on, Paul? How you doing? Enjoying this weather?
Yeah, man. It's been very nice. It was good to take the family out yesterday. The weather was very nice around here, these parts.
Good. I think I figured out our offensive philosophy. Run first,
please.
run again, run some more, and if anyone's still standing, run it again.
Okay, that sounds sound. We haven't had that in a while. Last year, we have refused to run the ball consistently. That'd be good to get back to the basics.
Yeah, I think who was that offensive coordinator Baltimore had? That they got rid of before.
That we got rid of? That was Marty Morningweg, is the guy that we got rid of back in the day.
No, the Ravens got rid of. That the Ravens got rid of before they got rid of. Yeah, I would have liked him.
Oh, he's a run guy. Yeah, he's in with the LA Chargers, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, which makes sense. They run the ball all over the place.
Let's pound the rock all day.
I love it. That's a good strategy, BG. Great strategy.
Mm-hmm. I thought he was talking about that tight end that we got, Smart or Austin Smart.
Stone Cold Smart, baby. Yeah. Okay.
That's what I thought he was talking about.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's who he was talking about. Yeah, maybe. I like that we're all giving answers to what we think it is. That's good. That helps us a little more. I appreciate that, BG.
Yep, anytime. Right. Do you think we have any moves left? Or we just wait until the draft at this point?
Let me see. Let me see off the top of my head. So we got right tackle. Well, the name, I don't know if we're going to do a show on this. Maybe we'll get a full show on it. Maybe we won't be able to. ESPN listed the Jets as a perfect landing spot for Stephon Diggs. And yeah, I know. Oh, God is the only reaction you could possibly have to that. And there's a lot to go on there. But Stephon Diggs was just spotted in Foxborough yesterday. He's meeting with the Patriots. So we might be getting intimately familiar with Stephon Diggs because he might be signing with the Patriots, which, again, I have a whole rant about that. But, yeah, that would be – if you're going to make a wide receiver move, that would make sense. There's still the big names like Amari Cooper and Stephon Diggs, but it just doesn't seem like the Jets' bag. It doesn't seem like they're going for the big names. So, yeah, we're probably done outside of another – whatever you want to call Derek Nottie and all these other rando signings. There might be another one like that, but for the most part, I think they're done to the draft, and we'll see if that's a good strategy or not.
All right. Was your dad upset that we got Stevens?
That's a good question. I don't think he knew or knows that report that came out after the fact that we're talking about here on the show, that the Jets beat. I don't think he knew the Cowboys were in on Brandon Stevens. So you'll have to remind me. We'll have to definitely, whether he's on Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember this week, but we're going to have to bring that up and see because I don't think he was aware of that information.
All right. One last thing. You don't think we would go for another running back in the first round, would you?
Because we will be live streaming my reaction. So that will come out. The fact that Breece Hall's in the last year of his deal, you can't rule anything out. And especially in Lions land where they took Jahmyr Gibbs and the entire draft went, what the hell? And flipped out. You can't rule anything out. Maybe he's not even on the board, though. There's been a lot of hubbub about him to the Raiders, so he might be off the board before the Jets have a chance. But, yeah, that one could happen. I could see it.
All right. Well, I'll let the other callers call in. Good talking to you.
Yeah, thanks, BG. Good catching up, man. Yeah, again, it would be surprising, but I could see it. Like, if it happened, like, I'm trying to think of, like Quinn Ewers. If the Jets are Quinn Ewers with the 7th pick, I'd be like, what the? I'd fly out of my seat. If they took Ashton Genty, I would be excited. You probably get some, I don't know what my reactions are till my reactions are my reactions, but I would probably, I'd be elated because it's such a crazy pick. And then there's just so much to then talk about. What does that mean for Breece? What does that mean for this? What are the Jets looking at? What's the next move? There's so many ripple effects when you make a move like that. So that would be pretty crazy. That'd be pretty crazy. There's no question about it. By the way, I just want to flip this up, just if people don't understand. So Dave Briggett's like, how did Bobby get a membership for me? By the way, I don't know if that's the real Bobby or that is Bobby or a fake Bobby account. So I'm unaware if that's actually Bobby who got that membership. And number two, for anyone that's ever said, oh, man, memberships being gifted left or right, I'm never getting one. Two things here. Number one, it's random, so I can't help you there. But it's random to the people that are most active. Obviously, Dave, we see you in the chat every day, so you're incredibly active. The fact that you have not gotten a membership is kind of wild. So just make sure that you have membership gifting on. That is in my YouTube description down below of every video. So if you're unaware if you have membership gifting turned on, go to my YouTube description. I think it's like the third or fourth link down. You'll see it about membership gifting and explaining it. If you watch YouTube and you've never flipped the switch before, it's the switch. I'm explaining this very poorly, but the switch to be able to accept gifted memberships has to be flipped. If you don't flip it, it's not available, and thus you will never receive a membership. So I can't remember if you ever have, Dave, but just make sure you do that if you haven't. So again, that's in the YouTube description down below. I have that option available for people that don't know or aren't aware. Or whenever you see someone gift a membership and you see the green in the chat, like I do that I'm about to highlight for someone that gifted membership, you can also click that and just flip membership gifting on that way. So feel free to do that. So let me see here. We just got a gifting of memberships. Here it is. For Lily and Big D. He was the one who gifted these memberships. So thank you, For Lily. First off, let's hit his music like a good person would. If you are unaware if you are allowed to be gifted memberships, click For Lily and Big D's comment here. Not like literally on your screen, but it's in your comment section. Click this, and you will see at the top it says gift memberships on, off, and then boop, just like that, you can turn it on or off. So there is something to consider moving forward from that perspective. All right, For Lily and Big D now has 50 raffle tickets so far this month. Appreciate it. For Lily. All right, let's get our new 5 members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Who are these lucky individuals? Maybe Dave Brigger will be one of them. I don't know. I'm about to find out rather. So let's see. Let's scroll on up here. Let's see. Okay, here are the 5 new members. The Austrian. Wow. Is there now competition with Austrian? Is there other Austrians in the neighborhood? I guess this is our number 2 Austrian Jet fan, which, by the way, again, our love and thoughts are continued to send out to number 1 Austrian Jet fan. But we have the Austrian. We have 7 ways to win 1. J Quest 57, Brian Rapp, and Trevor Ballinger. You guys are all now members of the Boy Green Coffee Club, and there is a direct link from Jared B to access our Discord channel, so you guys can join in on that as well. So shout out to For Lily for the memberships, baby. We haven't played any videos, and we normally try to do that for some of our 5-pack memberships that end up coming through. So let's throw some of this action here. Boy, do they need to bring that back. That's been a take I've had for some time. I don't know why it ever went away, to be honest with you. That'd be great. All right, let's keep going down on the comments here. Appreciate you. Thunderlip says Brandon Ayuk rumored to go to the Patriots. That could happen. That could we could get a trade. But here's the thing I don't understand. I guess I'll just give the rant. So apparently there was a report that came out of New England that the Patriots were not interested in 2 wide receivers in particular, DK Metcalf and Devontae Adams, because they thought that those 2 players could have a negative impact on their young quarterback, Drake May, like demanding the ball and stuff and having that sort of thing. So that's a report that legitimately came out from New England. That's the reason the Patriots apparently weren't in on those 2 players. And again, I don't know if the feeling would have been mutual anyway if those players would have wanted the Patriots, but that's neither here nor there. So apparently the Patriots didn't want those 2 guys because, potential negative impact on a young quarterback. So now they want Stephon Diggs, who's been traded from 2 places because of usage. Minnesota Vikings, Buffalo Bills. He didn't like how things are going, so he gets a trade out of there. That's the player that you're like, there's the solution. I don't know. Again, I like Stephon Diggs. I think he's a really talented player, but there's some extra chutzpah that comes with a player like that. That there is. So keep that in mind. Baby. Yeah, so maybe Bobby did really get a membership there. I'm not sure. That could be a fake Bobby. I'm unclear. We had fake Connor before. We could have fake Bobby. I am totally unclear on that. But yes. Shout out to Jay Quest. Havmo said Jake threw that James that was in on the BG Bobby Gate in the hole yesterday. Oh, okay. James apparently rubs some people the wrong way. I like James's passion, to be honest with you. I like James's passion. Again, I know our older folks, the geriatrics, as James called them, were not as big of a fan of James. So we'll see. He had a good conversation with Chef Kev. J-Boy said, if we take a running back when we have 5 on the roster, I might have a meltdown, especially all the other needs. Right tackle, defensive tackle, the other safety, off-ball linebacker, Quincy Williams. What are you doing with him? What's the future there? Like, boy, wide receiver, I go. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. There's a lot of needs. A lot of needs for the Jets. So, Big Green says he's always getting those memberships. There you go. I don't know. Yeah, it's like I said, it is random. If you comment all the time, you get a chance. Oh, Dave Brigger said he believes it's on because he's been gifted memberships on other channels, and he was joking. So we'll see, Dave. We'll see if we could get that for you. Mute Vials. We get another Super Chat member shout out here on the program. Very nice. Let's roll.
Wow.
Good morning. If we trade back, should we target safety or middle linebacker? I wouldn't target middle linebacker just because there's no clear path to the field immediately. I get it. If you're running a 4-3 scheme, technically speaking, that third linebacker could be in on sub packages, but most teams, well, I don't want to say most teams. So let me not overgeneralize. Let me say this. We don't know what the exact schematics will be for the Jets. They have not revealed that information. AG has 4-3 and 3-4 principles in his background. Last year's 4-3, the third linebacker was not on the field a lot, and that's been sort of the case for the Jets a lot. So, to me, if I was to trade back, it wouldn't be middle linebacker. As talented as Jahad Campbell is, maybe the Jets have a plan for him. I would target safety if I was going to trade back. Now, there's other positions I'd be also interested in a potential trade back. You trade back and get into the Colston Loveland sweepstakes as the other tight end as a receiving threat. That could make sense. You want to trade back and get, I don't know, Tyler Warren, maybe, if you could trade back a little to 10, 11, 12 ahead of the Colts, that could make a lot of sense. I'm trying to think. Wide receivers, Emeka Buka is a big trade down target I would love. Just straight up, I might take him at 7, but specifically, I could understand that in trade down scenario. They know better than me. So, yeah, there's a million options. Middle linebacker, as much as, again, you have Jamian, Quincy 1-year deal, and then what's the future there? There's some uncertainty from that perspective. But good question, Meat Files. Appreciate that. James is a tough nut, Dave Briggett says. One of a kind. Jets Worldwide, a.k.a. Snowball. Wide. Do we have a shot at getting Quan back? I hope so. He was just on Detroit last year. And speaking of, let's bring this guy back on the show. We've got Johnny Boy on the show. So, Johnny, can you give us the recap? What happened yesterday? I was not watching the second Jake Haslam show. I was out with my daughter and fiance yesterday, and son. The whole family was out. When I got the notification, because I'm a subscriber, of course, to the great Jake Haslam show. When the video goes live, so I'm like, geez, I'm not going to be able to see it. I'm out with the family. What happened? Recap it for us. What happened with Snowball and Chef?
So it was a battle of the ages,
All
right? Like it came down to the bitter end. I mean,
okay.
You had Snowball that was calling in and saying, I teach the youth. I mean, I'm here. I do this on everything. I've do so much for the content creating world itself.
He does.
Not only for your show, but for Jake's show as well, et cetera, et cetera. But then, I mean, Chef came out of nowhere, right? And he was coaching in some tournament with the clipboard. I mean,
wow.
Whistle, the whole 9.
What the
he
hell?
had some coach come up and was like, hey, man, what do you think we should run right now? What play should we do? And he just was like, hey, Jake, hold on real quick. Let me give you this play. And he just literally made a play up right then and there. Dude,
what the hell?
Dude, it was wild. I was in shock on how good it was. But it was a good battle. I mean, Snowball, he held his own as well. But Chef won. And it was a tough one for a lot of people,
Sure.
Because, I mean, you got Snowball and Chef. They're pillars of this community itself
no doubt.
Well. So they do so much. But Chef won, right? So he's moving on. And I think if Bonesy beats the person that he has a match with today, that's who they're going to go against.
Oh boy.
Next
okay.
round. I go against Charles this upcoming Saturday.
Oh, good luck.
Well, so
you're gonna need some magic, man.
Oh man, dude, I got it. But hey, I know why I was coming on to ask you a question.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And when I think multivitamins guy or multivials, whatever his name was.
It's definitely multivitamins. That's it. Yep.
Yeah, but trade back, right?
Yeah.
How difficult is it to truly trade back, right? And then because I'm seeing other stuff, right, that people are talking about trading back twice in the draft.
Interesting.
Right? So which is very difficult to do.
Of course.
Because you have to who's going to trade with you, why would they be trading, and all that. So I wanted to ask you, how difficult is that? Have we seen something like that in the past before, right? And who would be the teams that would trade up, right, to go ahead and switch with us, and what would we get back potentially? So
All right.
appreciate you, BG.
Yeah, I appreciate the call. Let me, I guess, clarify a point of contention. Because right, that's a popular thing people say. It takes two to tango. It's hard to trade back. I don't think it's hard to trade back. What I think the hard part is the value, right? So, for instance, I'm going to bring up I'll bring up Tankathon because obviously they have the NFL draft standings in here. Okay, let's bring them up. The Jets pick 7. Here are potential teams that would trade up: Chicago at 10, San Francisco at 11, Dallas at 12, Indy at 14. All of those teams I could totally see trading up, and thus Jets trading back. The thing that is the difficult part is agreeing on what's the proper value. Every team sort of has their own trade chart, so that makes it a little bit more difficult. And agreeing on what the value should be, because people say if someone's moving up for a quarterback, that's an extra price. That's not factored into the trade value. That's live bullets flying around of what you charge that quote unquote extra price. So that's, to me, the difficult part. Not trading. Sure, I'll trade with you. But like, boy, you're only going to give me that? I think that's where we get into problems, to be honest with you. But in terms of potential trade partners, I think there are plenty on the board for the Jets. Again, I could see Chicago moving up. They could be in the Tyler Warren sweepstakes to pull to unite him with Cole Kmet. I could totally see that. They could be moving up for Ashton Genty. I could see that. San Francisco could move up for Mason Graham. Could totally see that. Cowboys moving up for Genty. Could see that. Colts moving up for Tyler Warren. I could see that. And here's the other thing that you have to factor into some of these teams, specifically Indianapolis. Those coaches and general managers, Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen, are on the bleeping hot seat. They need to win now. They don't give a flying hoot about future picks because they may not be here. So I think that's the key, too, to factor in of desperation. And if you want a desperate teams make desperate decisions. That could benefit the Jets. So now dropping back to 14 is a little deep, and you take yourself out of a certain pool. That's the scary part of going back that far. Is one of your players you still like there. Again, for me, if I drop down to 14, I'd be thinking Tyler Warren if he was still there. But again, I imagine that's who the Colts would be moving up for. Colston Loveland would be a tight end we haven't talked a lot about. That would make plenty of sense from that perspective. And Emeka Buka is like my favorite trade down target for the New York Jets at wide receiver. So that would make a lot of sense too. So yeah, I don't think trading back's hard. I think that agreeing on the compensation is difficult. It's Chef Kevin Gilbert. He is here on the program. Hey now.
Wow.
Fastest Food Reviews, a.k.a. Chef Kevin Gilbert, saying, shout out to Snowball. He's the man and a true OG. And I want to say this, that obviously both of our, whatever you want to call it, here on the show, they're both pillars to our show. I love Chef Kevin Gilbert. I love Snowball. And whatever the God said is what happened, as far as I'm concerned, of all this coming together. So, to me, it's wonderful. I'm glad that they had this very heated battle. That's terrific. I'm happy for everyone involved. By the way, Chef Kevin Gilbert, you got yourself another raffle ticket with your Super Chat combinations. I love Snowball. I think Chef is obviously a very passionate man that I think we can all appreciate. And Snowball is more behind the scenes. Again, he certainly calls in, but he's not as boisterous as one Chef Kevin Gilbert. And there's no insult to either way. I'm just laying it straight here. But he is such an important part of this community. Obviously, I could speak to it from my perspective of Snowball makes all our emojis on the channel. I'm very happy we have Jets Worldwide coming up this Friday that I'm thrilled to be able to join because next week my baseball job starts. So I'm glad that we're going to be able to get it in before my schedule blows up and gets crazy. So I can't wait. We have 2 legends, 2 OGs, and salute to both. So thank you, Chef Kevin Gilbert, for the shout out here on the program for Snowball. And Snowball is awesome. And Snowball jumping in here. Jets Worldwide Snowball. Again, you guys can subscribe to his channel. I would highly recommend you do so. All love, Chef. See you Saturday. There you go. And look at Philium, FL Phil 98 with a gifted membership. Let's throw this on the docket. Appreciate it for Philium, who's doing his part here on the channel. That membership went to Jet Life 407. Jet Life 407, you just got a membership. So appreciate it. And let's put that up on the big board for our guy FL Phil 98, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, bleeping sir. Here we go. That's 5 raffle tickets so far this month for Philium on the channel. And Fastest Food Reviews, aka Chef Kevin Gilbert, you have 8 raffle tickets. I wanted to make sure I said that if I didn't say that already. So thank you, Philium, for the gift. I appreciate all the support, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for supporting the show. That having that support is really important. Well, everybody, I'm headed off to the radio station, but one final plug, because as soon as noon hits, it's over. Manchild Madness 2025. Again, Manchild, MANCHILD, Madness, MADNESS 2025, ESPN Tournament Challenge app. You can compete against me. You can compete against some of my radio talent at the station. It's our official bracket challenge for my radio show, the Manchild Show Boy Green. The score 1260. And it has a lot of Jet fans in it, too. So feel free to join, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, there's college basketball, so you can show your stuff. I'll be talking about some of the top, people that are kicking Patuki. I'll be talking about them here on Boy Green Daily. We'll be talking about them on the radio show as well. So good luck, everybody. Hope you can join. Join the group. You have to join the group and have your bracket locked in and submitted before noon today. So I don't know when some people listen to the show after the fact, listen to the audio-only version or what have you, but you only have till noon. Again, that is ESPN Tournament Challenge app. That is Manchild Madness 2025. Good luck to all you guys that are in the tournament, bragging rights and all that fun stuff. Thank you to the 1,000 people that are in the room. Make sure you guys like the video. Hit subscribe. That's a free way to contribute. And you can check out the article in the YouTube description for the full story there. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in for another good show. We'll see you tomorrow morning on Boy Green Daily. Take care. Actually, I lied. We'll have Boy Green Meets Woody a little bit later today. So stay tuned. That we'll be back on that at 3 o'clock. Take